Hey, what's going on, Guardians? I kind of created this is my first ever video making anything related to Destiny 2 or any video game in general. So hopefully you guys enjoy it and it's fun. I will just give you a disclaimer right now. This is not like the most meta build ever on a hunter, but it's very, very fun. I think it does an awesome job getting you through a bunch of content. I will do a solo op on the 500 level, and I think I've cleared plenty of them before. It goes really well, but just check out this loop real quick because I think it's just so fun. So Chuck, another one, arc bolts. Do that if I want to. 1, 2, just so much fun. Now, obviously, again, not the most meta, but it is a lot fun to use this. I'm going to go over and show you some gameplay in just a second, but I also wanted to kind of give you the lowdown on the build. So it's a Prismatic Hunter build. I'm rocking the Mask of Fealty for an exotic. I'm actually doing the Traveler's Chosen. For my primary, it is actually really, really helpful, and like always having up abilities and whatnot. And I'll show you a little like trick in a second that I didn't even know until just a minute ago for some more damage reduction, which is really, really helpful sometimes. So I'm rocking a Prismatic Hunter. I'm doing the Void Deadfall Super. The Void Super actually has a couple of different perks. That's why I think it makes a lot of sense, especially for this season. But I'm running the Withering Blades, of course, because I've got the Mask of Fealty, and I'm rocking the Arc Bolt Grenade for a couple of reasons. One, it's a solid grenade, but two, it works well with my Traveler's Chosen weapon, as well as the one of the fragments I have. Not fragments, one of the mods on my helmet. So two aspects are Threaded Spectre and the Gunpowder's Gamble. A big reason I'm choosing both of these is because it gives me 3 slots each, so I have a ton of fragments down below. If you didn't know, Threaded Spectre, when you dodge, you leave behind a copy of yourself in thread in like a strand form, and it actually works really good for PvE stuff. Very helpful. Gunpowder's Gambler, I think it's so much fun. It helps with overpowered, so unstoppable champions. You can use it as a way to stun them. It's great for ad clear and just damage overall. I love having both of these as my aspects, and it's not something I've seen a lot of people talk about, so I find it very, very fun. For my fragments, I'm rocking the Faceted Protection. I feel like this is kind of just like a go-to aspect for a lot of prismatic builds because it helps with your damage reduction. I'm doing the Facet of Blessing so I can get health regeneration when I get melee final blows. That happens quite often, as you can imagine, with the Mask of Fealty and the Withering Blades up here. Checking those things out, it's really nice to have healing coming in from there. Facet of Purpose, these give me that overshield because of my super being the Void, and it's just very helpful. I think the Faceted Purpose you'll find on pretty much any build because it's so helpful and useful. Faceted Mending, so the grenade final blows cure you, so that's awesome with my Transcendent Grenade. Obviously it's great with my Arc Bolt Grenade, and then it also counts for my Gambler's Dodge. It procs with my Gunpowder's Gamble, so very solid. I really like having the Faceted Mending. It comes in clutch. Faceted Devotion, and this is just to get my Transcendence back faster. It also gives me the 10 melee, which is nice, but like I don't go very long without having the Transcendence to pop in case something were to, crap were to hit the fan. And this last one, Facet of Dawn, the powered melee hits make you radiant. This is very key for taking care of barrier champions. So like I said, it's very helpful for barrier champions. I've played around with using the Crimson and the Ace of Spades with this build instead of the Traveler's Chosen as well. They're both very fun, and obviously it's helpful. This guy heals you up whenever you get a kill, which is nice for survivability. This person, Ace of Spades, so good with the Memento Mori. After you've gotten the Catalyst, I mean, those explosions deal so much damage; it's crazy. So like I said, there's none of these are dependent on the Traveler's Chosen. I'm just using the Traveler's Chosen because it's very fun, and because I'm using the Traveler's Chosen, this perk of having Radiant once you use your powered melee hit is very helpful when it comes to the barrier champions. So like I said, I am running the Mask of Fealty as my exotic. The mods I have on it are this rapid kinetic and rapid arc weapons. Because once I use my grenade, I this guy turns into a arc weapon, which is kind of cool, and I'll show you a little neat little trick in just a second about that. So that's pretty cool, and it can be useful in certain things. So I have this on, so I'm always generating orbs of power with it. The This guy gives me some more ammo for my Sayonetta, which does a ton of damage. It's a very powerful weapon. Highly recommend trying to get yourself a really nice roll on that if you haven't already. Very fun. And then this last one, hands-on, gain bonus super energy on melee kills. I get melee kills kind of often with the Withering Blade, so that's pretty nice. This guy, I'm rocking. It's all about trying to get my things back fast. I maybe could replace one of these with the second heavy-handed, to be honest, with how many Withering Blades I throw out there. But Focusing Strike gives me class ability when I cause damage with my melee attacks. This guy, when I do a final blow, I get an Orb of Power, and this guy causing damage with grenades reduces my melee cooldowns. So grenade to get more melees. Melees will give me more orbs and grant class ability. So yeah, pretty. I like this. This seems to work very well for me, at least. Your armor piece, you can rock a lot of things. I have this increasing my number of stacks by another one for my armor charges. You'll see in just a second kind of why that is. Concussive dampener, throw on whatever you need to when it comes to the content that you're in. Obviously, I think that's pretty much a universal truth at this point. But like I said, I do like this number of stacks being up by one more because I also rock stacks on stacks um, with my leg pieces. So this guy gives me an extra an extra armor charge every time I pick one up. So every time I get an orb, it's 2. I have a total of 5 armor charges. Again, not the most efficient or meta as far as what I've seen from other builds, but for me, kind of playing more casual and solo stuff and playing with my wife and things of this nature, I really like the stacks on stacks. It makes the armor charges last a lot longer and whatnot. Recoup, my health is high enough that I like recuperation more than the better already. Depending on where your health stat is, I feel like that's what makes the difference between which one of these are better or more useful. And then I'm rocking a weapon stat with this guy because my weapons all do different damages. I just wanted my weapons charge to be even better. And then for my class item, I've got Powerful Attraction to gather up all the orbs when I do my dodges, Reaper to make more orbs, and then Bulwark Finisher. This actually is very useful. It consumes 3 or more stacks of armor charges and grants a overshield for quite a long time. That's really nice because that counts as a void elemental buff, which then will allow you to proc this while you have a void elemental buff. Melee and sword hits weaken targets, while melee and sword final blows create a weakening burst. So it's very useful because then if you do a rapid final blow on enough, you get Devour, which is obviously great for getting you more health on every kill and then getting your grenade ability energy back really fast. Yeah, and then finally, defeating a weakened target spawns a tracking projectile that weakens other targets. So, I mean, there's a lot of times where this kind of loops very well for me, and it kind of all starts when I do this Bulwark Finisher. So, That's pretty awesome. One other thing I did kind of want to show you guys real quick that I didn't know until just recently. So, oh, let me switch over to these guys. So with the Traveler's Chosen, I can't imagine it would happen with anything else. I throw my arc in, right? So now this guy is rocking, my Traveler's Chosen is rocking arc. And did you see that? Amplified on the bottom left there. I'm now amplified because I got a kill with this guy, and it's arc. So, I believe me, or correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe amplified is approximately a 25% reduction in damage, and so that right there is super useful for a whole lot of things. I've got a void overshield because of the picking up the orbs from my one aspect. So that also helps. Boom. Now all of a sudden everything's getting weakened. I obviously have my Gambler's Grenade. Anytime I'm getting a kill with the Gambler's Grenade or Gunpowder's Gamble, I'm proccing health regen. Every time I get a kill with my Arc Grenade, I'm getting health regen. Again, look at I don't know. It's just very fun. It works well for multiple enemies. Again, I've got so many different perks going on right now that you don't even know. I have no idea how long that Void Overshield would last. Okay, apparently 5 more seconds. Again, once I throw that, well, I gotta get a hit with it. I forgot. I gotta get a hit with it. So when I get a hit with my powered melee, I'm radiant for 5 seconds, which is, typically long enough to get the shields broken on a barrier with the Sai Aneta. And it's just, I don't know, man. This build is super fun. I have a lot of a lot of fun with it, and I think that you could do a lot with the different weapons. Obviously, I don't have the Proxic Blade, so I would assume that this would probably be pretty cool with the Proxic Blade. But then again, I use a lot of my Withering Blades, and I know you don't get melee with, or you're not meleeing when you have the Proxic Blade. So again, guys, leave comments if you happen to watch this. I'd love to know maybe what some of your thoughts were and whatnot, especially if you're an OG Destiny player. How maybe there's some ways that I can make this build even stronger or more fun. Again, the Gathering Light thing with the Traveler's Chosen, I find it useful to have always something in like my back pocket as far as needing to proc or throw a Withering Blade, grenade, do a Spectre to distract them and get my Withering Blades back and things like that. So yeah, that's a little bit about the build. I am going to go ahead and run it into a solo op now, and it's going to be great. And yeah, I'll see you guys over there. Alright guys, so like I said, we're rolling into K1 Logistics, which is the barrier champions, in order to be able to, move forward. I'm hoping it doesn't give me any problems. If I'm able to, or if I need to, hopefully I can speed up sections of this and get it 2 times speed, but I'll also try to walk you through kind of what my thinking and how I'm approaching these different interactions. Hopefully it's a learning tool. Again, I haven't been playing Destiny very long, maybe 3 or 4 months. I played Destiny 1 back in the day, and that was a lot of fun. But yeah, I don't know what I'm doing per se. It's not like I am like super knowledgeable about all this stuff, but I am having a lot of fun with it, and I feel like that's half the battle, right? So anyway, as you could just see, I got my gamblers thing up really fast just now. Oh man. I don't want to have to deal with that. Barrier Knights. Okay, so this will certainly be a challenge. We'll see how it goes. I can't promise you guys anything. It might be an early Yep. Dang, that was no bueno. But I don't think he popped his shield, which would actually work out really well for us if he didn't. He did not. Okay, here we go. Gonna come over here. Gonna smack him with that. Oop. Got him. Okay, there you go. That's how you do it. Ooh, I forgot those guys do that. That's annoying. More annoying than I thought it was gonna be. Alright. Let's clear this guy out. And the cool thing about this one, in case, you guys didn't know, it's not like you have to kill all the barriers. I'm going to try to, just to, again, show you kind of how, not easy it is, but how you can use Radiant and kind of time it. Ooh, don't have any more secondary ammo, so that should be fun. I typically use that a lot of times for getting the barrier champions finished off with their shields. So we'll just see how that goes. Hopefully, see right there. Oop. I don't know why that didn't proc a healing. Maybe I was taking damage when it went off. I don't know. Oh no! Golly, these guys just don't give up. Ooh, okay. Because I'm supercharged, I might even use that a little bit. I have my Radiant. Damn. Okay, see, that was pretty smooth. I like that one. That's great. And in case you guys didn't know, when you have your when the Traveler's Chosen, Traveler's Chosen weapon has the whoop. I gotta get a hit with it. Dang it! See right there. So I didn't get a hit with it, so I didn't proc my Radiance, which was unfortunate. All right, let me get this guy. Here we go. Oh, where'd he go? Man, that fire is way more annoying than I thought it was going to be. Okay, where is he? Okay, so he's up there. Alright, so let's see. Dude. Yes. There we go. Oh, that was so bad. My Radiant's gone. See? Barrier champions, the most annoying in my humble opinion. Alright, so we'll just use this. Oh. Alright, so I forgot that the Saiyan meta, once you're Radiant, even they get bounced off because it's the way, it's like a rocket or whatever, they can't pierce the barrier, which is, again, super annoying. And again, I could have popped my Transcendence. Oh my gosh. Well, that was unfortunate. How freaking annoying is that? So annoying that I'm copping out. Not even gonna worry about it. Screw you guys, I'm going home. So, normally, if I was going to be running something with this many barrier champions, I would have switched over to Crimson or the Ace of Spades, just because I know, dealing with them that way is much more convenient and less cumbersome. than doing it this way. That or I might even have tried to use this one, the deterministic chaos, because it's strong against barrier champions, and just focused on ignition in case there was unstoppables. But again, with these solos, in case you didn't know, you can check and see what kind of sorry, I'm getting distracted. Champions you're gonna have to be dealing with, and so it's obviously gonna be quite difficult. Oh, and I just realized that I think this, no, this isn't set up. I don't have to deal with any barrier champions over here. Okay, so that's cool. I'm glad that I don't have to do that. Okay. Again, I'm kind of working on different transcendence. Yep, transcendence is full now. That was so unfortunate, the way that I used my transcendence and then got destroyed. Not destroyed, but it just didn't work out. Oh, hey, sweet, man. Oh no, I just used, I swear I've done that so many times on accident. It's used up all my travelers in most light when I didn't want to. Let's see if I can get that back. I might be able to get that back before we get onto the next thing. Oh snap! Hey, there's Nord. Trying to get some of my inmost light back right now, to be honest with you. Alright, where is it? There it is. Okay. Quite helpful. Again, not sure why the thing is not proccing one perk more often, but that's okay. We're gonna get it figured out regardless. Cool. Did I get amplified? Whoa. I did not. That's okay. With a minute to spare, even with a few mess ups, and again, not necessarily the loadout 100%
Watching the young
geared
wolf take a whole army by themselves, it makes me think.
Did I miss the objective to
Using
get
darkness, guardians are stronger than ever. More powerful than when
I'm
we
gonna
raised
guess I
the
missed the
city
extra
walls.
objective. I thought it was to get kills with my
there's fewer
abilities,
of
and I
us.
couldn't imagine I didn't get
Old
15
vets like
kills
Joxer
with
and
my
Cade are gone.
with my
Zavala and
withering
Eris
blades, but I
lost
guess
their
maybe I
ghosts.
didn't, and that's crazy if
You're
I
right.
didn't. And
But
yeah,
we've also
but
got more allies
I didn't
than
even
ever.
use the bulwark finisher
Not
ever
just
either.
on us.
So again, totally more ways for me to have played and done it better. Um, but regardless, it's a fun build. You're constantly throwing stuff. You've got lots of different, I think ways to optimize the build with your different weapons, and it's just a fun build. I didn't even kind of go over this, but like the stats very evenly distributed, so you don't have to have like one thing maxed out over the other. I think it still feels and plays very good. I have a full Therapotent, but I'd love to have a smoke jumper set in here. I just don't have any smoke jumper that is super high, not fifth tier. So I'm just running this Therapotent, and it works fine. I have a specialist, a brawler, a gunner, a pair, literally one of each. So there's different ways that you could optimize this if you wanted to really focus on your melee and having your withering blades do the bulk of the damage. I really like this even spread because it's just giving me a lot of versatility and usefulness as I'm going into different interactions. So there's some gameplay. I'm going to put this all together. I hope you guys like it. Definitely feel free to leave comments on what you would do differently. I'm certainly no expert. I'm just learning. But I have put some time into this game so far, and I've really, really enjoyed it. So my YouTube, Father Figure Gaming Studios, that's also my name on Twitch now. It should be, at least. Not like I have not been doing any of this very long, but I'm trying to get better. And hopefully, if you watched all the way till this end, man, I hope you kind of come along for the journey, because that's some commitment for some random person that you've obviously never seen before, because this is my first video. So I appreciate it if you've made it this far, and you're awesome. I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your night, and looking forward to interacting with you guys more in the future. So, see ya.